What's up, you guys? This is Adam Gillespie with Rancid and Sweaty Calves coming at you with yet another video, and I bring to you good tidings, or is it great tidings of good news, or good tidings of great news? I don't know. I forget what it says. Nevertheless, Marvel's She-Hulk star Tatiana Maslany says second season is unlikely. I think we blew our budget and Disney was like, no thanks. I think what you mean to say is that your show was so abysmal that it lost the company more money than it possibly could have ever invested into it. And so Disney said, we'd really like to keep pushing this garbage show that nobody likes, but we are starting to lose some money, and we need to start making something, or else we're gonna die. That being said, here we go. Sometimes good things do happen. What a great opening to this article. The joy of nearly every viewer and the surprise of very few, She-Hulk attorney-at-law star Tatiana Maslany has admitted that thanks to its overbloated budget, a second season of widely planned Disney Plus series is unlikely to happen. The actress revealed the apparent fate of the Jade Giantess's solo series while making an appearance on the season premiere of streamer Nerd Incorrect's Codenames Live. The New Class, an ongoing web series in which he and his team host various personalities for play sessions of the eponymous Codenames board game. Therein, per a recap of the currently unavailable stream provided by The Direct, Maslany was at one point outright asked by the stream's host, comedian, and actor Tim Rail, should we hope for a season 2? First of all, if you're hoping for a season 2 of She-Hulk, I think you have your priorities in the wrong spots. If you're hoping for season 2 of She-Hulk in any regard, or anything about this version of She-Hulk, I would dare say you need to go to a priest or some religious figure to clean your soul, because that is just awful. If you're really hoping for season 2 of She-Hulk, it's just ugh. Yeah, it's pretty disgusting. I can't believe that I just put hope and She-Hulk in a sentence. Ugh. Okay. Intern Maslany playfully revealed, I don't think so. I think we blew our budget, she added, and Disney was like, no thanks. Admittedly, this development comes as no surprise, given the fact that Marvel Studios not only spent an insane amount of money on the She-Hulk, but did so to a disastrous results. As previously reported by Variety's Tatiana Siegel, is now her famous Crisis at Marvel expose costs for a single episode of arguably the worst entry in the entire MCU had ballooned to roughly $25 million per outing. $25 million per episode, and you got She-Hulk twerking. That was it. $25 million per episode, and you got some abysmal abomination transformation CGI. $25 million per episode, and you got Wong acting like a complete and total degenerate, breaking criminals out of prison for cage fights. $25 million per episode, and you had little pretend bad, poorly rendered CGI demon babies invading a New York apartment while She-Hulk had to help Wong for whatever reason. $25 million an episode, and the special effects were actually the best part of the entire show. $25 million per episode, and you couldn't get a single good actor on screen at any time to perform in any significant or impactful manner. $25 million per episode, and you couldn't get a single decent writer to point out that the show was being written into an absolute dumpster fire. $25 million. You know how much I could do with $25 million? I could start my own comic book company 5 times over with $25 million. With $25 million, I could retire tomorrow and never work again. at the age of 23 and live happily until the age of 75 or 80 before I started needing to worry about any money. You know what I could do with $25 million? I could put it in the bank and just leave it there. You know what else I could do with $25 million that would be more beneficial than Marvel using it? I could throw it into a fireplace and stay warm during the one cold day out of the year in the state of Florida. That's what I could do with $25 million that would be of more value than anything that Marvel was able to do with it per episode. That's per episode. There was at least 6 episodes. I can't remember if there were more. I've almost wiped that entire show from my memory, except for a few key moments that are just too cringe to leave out. That was another thing. $25 million an episode so you could hire a fake woman to get married to a poorly acted out immortal man. And by fake woman, that's exactly what you think I'm saying. A man who just happened to have female-shaped breasts. That's it. That is all. That is it. $25 million for absolute trash. I think I could get more for trash than this. Ugh. I could get more people watching me paint roll a wall just by going outside and paint rolling a wall than people who would actually be invested in this show. And I could do that for about $25. Not 25 million. All right, I'm going to stop going. I'm going to start reading the article again because I'm getting too far off. I'm getting too upset about this. But with the series being made of a self-admitted FU to the male fans of the franchise and its source materials, this money was essentially thrown in the garbage as audiences chose to do anything else with their time other than subject themselves to the series writers' multi-million-dollar venting sessions. Oh my gosh. Notably, this is not the first time Maslany has poured water on the possibility of She-Hulk's return to television. Asked during an October 2023 interview with Extra Kate Krause whether or not if she had heard any word regarding a second season of the series, the actress asserted, I don't think so yet. Making references to her character's fourth wall breaking meeting with the head of the MCU studios in She-Hulk's first season finale, Maslany explained that Kevin in the scene seems to be very dismissive of this idea. So if we're basing this off of real Kevin, then I don't seem likely. But he was also, I think, just trying to get rid of Jen at that point because she was asking too many questions. Then pressed directly by Krause, so you really don't think we're going to get a season 2? Maslany affirmed, I don't know if I would be coy. If I could be coy and I have some little secret, I would do that. But I really don't. I don't know anything. That's another thing. I just want to touch on something that was talked about. Oh my gosh, $25 million, and that's the best that you can do for the CGI of She-Hulk. Are you kidding me? Fiona from Shrek looked better than this. That looks awful. The hair's just floating out there. It's a poorly rendered CGI face that could have been better done if you just painted some female bodybuilder's face green. Even if she wasn't a good actress, it would still be better than this. I'm going to leave it there just to let that sear into your brains as the waste of money that $25 million per episode was. But that was another thing that was mentioned in the article that I'm going to touch on real quick. This show was a deliberate FU to the fans of the original source material. And the original source material for She-Hulk was interesting and unique. And it had this unique story to it, and they could have adapted it in such a way that would actually pay homage and respect to the character as it was written previously. And that's all fans want. The problem that Marvel writers have is that they're not understanding what fans are saying when they say respect the source material. What Marvel writers, DC writers, modern day socially, politically active writers do when they are writing a story is they say, the fans of this character are just racist, toxic, mystiphobes. Blah, 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 blah. Therefore, we have to hate them and the things that they like. Therefore, we can't suspect that anything in the original source material is actually good. Therefore, we're going to change it and turn it into something else so that we can have it be our thing. That's what it is, right? And all the fans are asking for is not to respect the fans. The fans are saying, look, I don't even care if you respect me, if you like me, if you care about me in any way, shape, or form. No fan does care if you care about them. What the fans care about is whether or not you're paying respect to the original source material as it was written, because that's what got them interested in the first place. Which is why it is that when you see pointless race swaps, pointless gender swaps, pointless sexuality swaps, that's why fans get upset, because you could have created an original character or used a character that was already that way without the need to impede on another character, but instead, because you wanted to do what you wanted to do because of your political motivations, you have henceforth disrupted the flow of the character's story to insert your agenda and ruined it. To put it more simply, fans are saying, just use the characters that are already there for the purposes that you want, only if those characters actually fit into those columns. And if they don't, then make a new character. But don't expect that you're going to get the respect and dignity from the fans that the fans have for other characters if all that new character is about is their sexuality, if all that new character is about is their gender, if all that new character is about is their ethnicity, if all that character is about is the shade of skin that they have, if that's all that that character is about, then that's not worth reading. I don't care. I'm speaking personally right now. I don't care about the genitalia of a character. I don't care about the skin tone of a character. And I don't care about the sexuality of a character. I care if that character is written well. Okay? Cyborg is my favorite Teen Titan. My favorite Green Lantern is John Stewart. Static Shock was a show that I watched more than the Justice League animated TV show when I was growing up. Some of my favorite fictional characters have been black characters, and I never needed to emphasize the fact that they had a different skin tone than me. But in order to disprove the disingenuous claims of people and writers and activists, because that's what they really are, activists, who have happened to have narrative creating jobs in these mainstream media entertainment industries, in order to disprove the claims that fans are racist, I have to bring up the fact that I like a character who has a minor difference from me in terms of the shade of their skin color. Why is that something that I have to bring up every time I talk to somebody regarding this, if they happen to be even slightly left of me politically? Why is it that I have to explain that to people every single time I interact with someone on the internet or in person who happens to think that it's perfectly fine to race swap characters? Because they don't see any reason why it is that a character is supposed to embody this aspect, has to be a certain shade of skin. And I agree. A character who embodies a certain ideal doesn't have to look a certain way. But if a character has looked a certain way for the past 70 to 80 years, then it's likely reasonable to assume that they should continue to look that way, at least until their copyright ends. Because then people can do whatever they want with those characters. There's really legitimately no reason for race swapping, gender swapping, or sexuality swapping any character other than the fact to feed into the egocentric, activist-centric, politically centric ideologies that new writers for these mainstream entertainment outlets devote themselves to. And it comes down to beating you over the head with the same ideologies over and over and over again until eventually you give in and you just stop caring, and you just start watching the gunk. Well, guess what? To every single one of those mainstream media entertainment outlets that has been pushing this and pushing this and pushing this, you overplayed your hand. Maybe if you took it a little bit more subtly over a few more years, you would have gotten your wish and people would have just started watching the gunk. But you kept beating people over the head over and over and over and over again and again and again and again and again, to the point of exhaustion where fans started getting ticked. And because of that, because you overplayed your hand, because you overextended, and because you reached too far into your perverse political ideology, into your perverse, dare I say, religious ideology of intersectionality, because you overplayed your hand, now fans are saying enough is enough. And now you're starting to see the repercussions to these actions that you've been taking. Now you're starting to realize that maybe you should have paid respect to those fans that you said you didn't need the respect of, that you didn't need the attention of, that you kept telling to screw off. Maybe you should have done your best to keep those fans around, because those are the ones that actually had the money to support you. And when you say screw you to all of the people who support you, it doesn't tend to go well. In fact, you start losing a lot of support. The one thing that you need in order to make the crap that you've been trying to make. All right. Now that I've gone on my preachy spiel, I'm going to end the video here. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to leave a like, comment down below your thoughts, share this video out there with your friends, subscribe and hit that bell notification icon if you haven't already, and check me out on my different socials. But mainly just check out my Twitter. That's all I'm really asking of you guys. The Twitter and the YouTube are the ones like the 1 or 2 platforms that I'm actually working on, developing, and trying to make a big thing. Whether or not YouTube actually works out, I don't really care at this moment in time. I just want to get content out to as many people and as much of an audience as I possibly can. Anyways, I hope you guys have a great day and a great rest of the week.